Hello everyone, I'm the Weather Dude. Welcome back, and today we are going to be talking about two potential tropical cyclones that are developing. They're out in the Atlantic Ocean close to Africa as we speak. Before we get started with the video, however, be sure to like and subscribe with the notifications on, as those are the little things you can do to help my channel grow. And without further ado, let's just get started. So, two potential tropical cyclones out there today. All right, here's number one. All right. This is number one right here. It's off the coast of Africa, or it's actually over Africa. You can't really see the X on the map. But the orange zone means it will be here in the next few days, and it has a chance to develop in that zone. And our other system is right here, moving in this direction towards the northern Caribbean islands, and that also has a chance to form. This one has been dropped to zero. It probably had a chance before. I remember seeing it before, like a day or two ago, and it's since dropped. So 0% chance of development. I'm pretty sure that's Invest 91L. But we have one right here that has a medium chance of development, and the one in front of that has a 20% chance. So 20 here and 40 here. So it's a tropical wave that's forecast to emerge off the coast of Africa. So it's not off the coast yet by late Thursday. Environmental conditions are somewhat conducive for gradual development. They're out there for the far eastern tropical Atlantic. Weekend and early next week time frame. It moves about 15 miles an hour, which is average pace. Notice the 2-day development chance though is 0, which means any development chance will be 3 to 5 days out. And those are the two potential tropical cyclones we are watching. All right, so let's look at the satellite imagery so you can really see this big mass is pretty much it. This could actually be a separate wave, because if National Hurricane Center says it's going to emerge by late Thursday, I doubt this one's it, because it's pretty much hitting the coast right now. That certainly could be another area to watch, though. It could be a part of this wave. But here's some more convection in Central Africa right there. I guess the satellite out there is, I guess that's why it's strung out. It could be farther away. But there is some more convection out there in Africa. So we almost got like two pieces right here. And then there's the system in front of the first one, which the first one is probably back here somewhere. All right, so there's a system that's already has a low pressure center, right, or at least some kind of area to watch, which is right here, this X, probably about 43 degrees west and about 9 degrees north, so to speak, for latitude coordinate sake. So probably somewhere in here, I would say, is the center of circulation, or a low center. Now, looking at the sea surface temperature anomalies, they are pretty high, right? So at least above average. All right, so for both areas, so here for our first system is probably sitting right here. So that's your zone, and then eventually the other system will merge out of this zone, which is also above average. But the Gulf of Mexico, woof, the temperature is insane for the Gulf of Mexico, and I'll be getting to that in just a minute. Notice we're going back towards the La Nina now. We're starting to see more blues fill in again. Looking at the trends in the past week. All right, certainly seeing some upward trends off the coast of Africa, surely out in the tropical Atlantic as well. The Gulf, of course, is trending upward. Caribbean's pretty much about the same, though. All right, and if we look at actual sea surface temperatures, anywhere in the yellow is above 75, but even the yellow is not really enough. You kind of need this orangish shade, which we do have clear off the coast of Africa through the MDR region. All right, even for our storm is right now, our system number 2, or I should say that's number 1. Number 2 is behind it, right? And look at the Gulf, all right? I'll get into the exact temperatures in a minute, because I know it's hard to tell from here, but water is warm enough, so when tropical waves are going to start emerging off the coast like this, like you're seeing activity all of a sudden, three tropical waves just now off the coast of Africa. One, obviously, is not going to develop, but we still had 3 waves, and 2 are still left in question. Look at the Gulf of Mexico here, all right? I'm going to mark the exact temperatures here. All right, so you can see most of the Gulf is pretty much 85, 86, 87, but there are some spots that are 88, like near New Orleans, because it's just been so hot in this area. All right, so 87, 88. Look at northern Cuba, or excuse me, north of or south of the northern point of Cuba, 89, if you saw that there. 89, there you go. So almost 90 degrees in some parts. All right, the Caribbean, not quite as impressive, but I mean, 83, 84, I mean, that's definitely enough. I mean, but compared to the Gulf, which is like 80, 86, 87, 88, and the fact that we might not see our warmest waters for the next month, that's also pretty concerning. All right, so let's look at the dry air now. All right, because we know that's a very important player. Dry air, less we have, the better. Well, if we look at the dry air here, so here's our other system right here, battling a little bit, but it's withering away. I definitely noticed it's been getting a lot less. Lowering amounts, I should say. Gulf of Mexico, not that much at all. Same with Caribbean, East Coast, not much either. Pretty much had like a low that's been working up the East Coast today. So some clouds and showers for the coastal locations, probably why there's no dry air. But it's weakening overall. It's starting its weakening trend. It is August. Wind shear is a bit high, though, which is surprising. Although, out here where our first system is, there's really not much in the way of shear. Also, not much shear for really the Gulf or the Eastern Caribbean either. Even the northwestern corner of the Caribbean, not much shear. But for where our systems are going to be, right, of course, we want the shear to be lower and has a potential to drop, but it is a little high right now. And looking at some development chances, so we have our NCP, FN, MOC, GEM, Europe, our usual 4 models here. And for system number 1, you have about a 50 to 60% chance, and system number 2, a 60 to 70% chance of development here. And they may even have something in the Gulf, whether it's the Northern Gulf or maybe the Bay of Campeche area. Looking at the NCEP ensemble tracks, right? So now this, just the NCEP, gives both systems a 60 to 70% chance of development. And they take the first system this way, and the other system maybe somewhat like this. So we'll see. Tracks depend on the high pressure to the north, if there even is one at that point. All right, so tracks are high pressure dependent. At Bermuda High, it's to the north. All right, let's look at now another set of probabilities. Now these set of probabilities do say 50 to 60% and 60 to 70 still right here. But notice something else in the northeastern Gulf. Maybe around 40% chance of development for that spot. So a lot of areas are going to be watching. Of course, 2 potential tropical cyclones are going to be watching these 2. For this video, and we're going to be going over them in the models. So, GFS model, all right, as for the first system, really not much. As a matter of fact, they actually kind of have it spiraling into the next system, which here it is. Now, they say it's going to merge off by next Thursday, right? I mean, and there it is. You can see, like Thursday late, it's right there. So that's definitely the one they're talking about. That's how you can tell it is. All right, and then it moves towards the west. So, I mean, there it is. Now, the GFS doesn't have much strength for now, probably because it was just recognized. That's typical for the GFS right now. It could actually merge into the second system, which would be pretty interesting. Looking at the surface winds, right, and also have to keep an eye on the high pressure to the north. All right, so the Bermuda High, as we like to call it. So you can see it right here to the north, sitting there, and that's going to help take the systems more westbound. And there's also going to be features of the high that block it so that the low cannot move north. All right, that's what the high pressures can do, especially the Bermuda highs in the season of the tropics. So let's focus this low here. All right, so there it goes towards the west. All right, I know it's hard to track because it's a little relatively weak for what the GFS is saying right now, but there it is. All right. And it's going to be continuing to move towards the west here. All right, so there's the low, pretty much moving out, and that's it with the GFS model. Now, the Canadian model shows something a little different. All right, so you can see the energy is sitting there spinning around, right? We have our energy from the first system. Here's the next system. Pretty much here, again, merging off by Thursday, and then continue to move towards the west. But this time, the GEM has the first system being a little stronger, and that's pretty much making it a beeline, right? Here's the Bahamas right here, and the U.S. is pretty much like that way. All right, so something to focus on, because the first system could hit the U.S., second system could, none of them could. Definitely something to keep our eyes on. So as for the GEM model, they don't have the second system developing as much, but the first system, yeah, potentially. And then looking at the sustained winds, they pretty much have it almost becoming a tropical storm right here, but not quite. But again, models are like this in storms beginning stages, so I give it time for the models to start putting out some pretty intense outputs. They will after a while. But you can see the high to the north here, right? Again, which is going to help steer these storms. And if it weakens, the storms can move north. And the European model finally, really nothing left of the first system, but the second system, you can see it right there, all right, moving towards the west, and then pretty much while strengthening and then making a turn for the north, all right, through next weekend. So something to keep our eyes on. So thank you guys for watching. I am the Weather Dude, setting off till next time. I will catch you guys in the next video.